New York court officials say former US President Donald Trump is due to be arraigned in Manhattan on Tuesday.
Disgraced Paralympian Oscar Pistorius is denied parole by a South African court 10 years after he was convicted of murdering his girlfriend Riva Steenkamp. A new Russian foreign policy strategy adopted by President Vladimir Putin identifies the West as posing an existential threat to Moscow.
Former US President Donald Trump was shocked by his indictment, his lawyer says, and slammed the case brought against him by the Manhattan District Attorney as political persecution and election interference. Trump's former Vice President Mike Pence had a similar response.
And I think it's clear to the overwhelming majority of the American people that this is nothing short of a political prosecution being affected by a Manhattan DA who literally campaigned on bringing charges against one particular American.
President Joe Biden, however, refused to comment on the development that's seen his predecessor become the first former US president to face criminal charges. A New York grand jury indicted Trump, who's running for the White House again in 2024, on Thursday over hush money payments made to an adult film star during his 2016 presidential campaign. Trump is due to be arraigned in New York on Tuesday.
Disgraced South African sprinter Oscar Pistorius has been denied early release from prison 10 years after he was convicted of killing his girlfriend Riva Steenkamp. Pistorius, who is serving more than 13 years for her murder, applied for a parole hearing last year, arguing he had served more than half his sentence. Steenkamp's mother attended the hearing and urged the parole board not to release him.
From an outsider's how it went.
It was very unpleasant for her, the circumstances, but she knew that she had to do it for Riva, and she did it, and I'm very proud of her. And, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
And she's very relieved that it's over.
The televised trial of the world's famous double amputee was hailed as a seminal moment in South African broadcast history. Known as the Blade Runner for his prosthetic legs, Pistorius was initially sentenced to 5 years in prison, but in 2017 the Supreme Court increased his sentence. Russia has ranked the United States as its greatest threat in a new foreign policy doctrine signed by President Putin. According to this 42-page document, Moscow should now build alliances in the framework of a, quote, existential confrontation with Western countries.
Главным инициатором и проводником антироссийской линии прямо названы Соединенные Штаты Америки. И в целом политика Запада, направленная на всемирное ослабление России, охарактеризована как гибридная война нового типа. Признается экзистенциальный характер угроз безопасности и развитию нашей страны, создаваемых действиями недружественных государств.
China and India are now officially designated as Russia's main partners, formulating Moscow's political pivot to the east. The new policy signing follows Chinese leader Xi Jinping's visit to Moscow last week, when he and Putin highlighted their two countries' deepening ties. The Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has urged Chinese President Xi Jinping to talk to his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky. He says he wants the two leaders to discuss Kyiv's peace plan to bring about an end to Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. In meeting with Xi and other senior Chinese officials, Sanchez discussed China's position on Russia's war and welcomed Beijing's rejection of using nuclear weapons. In June, Spain will assume the presidency of the Council of the European Union, an opportunity Madrid says will be used to bring China and the EU closer together.
Back on his feet again. In the first images to be released since his admission to hospital on Wednesday, Pope Francis is seen baptising a newborn baby at Rome's Gemelli Hospital, where the pontiff was being treated for bronchitis. Francis is expected to return home on Saturday and will attend Palm Sunday services. His hospitalisation came just weeks after he marked 10 years as head of the Catholic Church and had sparked widespread concern over the health of the 86-year-old pontiff.